Hello, everyone. We are officially live. Welcome to this Learning Sound and Synthesis Spotlight Series interview with Natalia. Welcome, Natalia. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Today, we are going to be talking about Natalia's journey in electronic music, learning synthesis, sound design, and growing her confidence just generally in music making and in these areas, right? We've been talking a little bit before we went live, and I'm really excited to dive into this conversation with you.
Mhm.
If you're here joining us live, I see you. Welcome. Go ahead and just say hello. Let me know you're tuning in. It's always good to know that you're here. Let's start with a little intro. Can you tell us about, just in brief, who you are and what you do creatively?
In brief,
In
I
brief,
love
I
to
know it's
listen
not
in
easy.
brief because I can go in a whole that question who you are. Because of also what I'm interested in is exploring that, but not from the perspective of identity of like I was born in Colombia and these are the things that I do and this is my name, but more like exploring the nature of our being.
Yeah.
And so,
Oh, we're
anyway,
getting deep real quick,
we're
everyone.
getting deep
Here
from the
we go.
beginning.
I love it.
But to answer the question, I run a music and technology laboratory where the whole intention is to do experiments that see art and music as a vehicle for three main things. One is reclaiming our attention, the other one is cultivating inner peace, and then the third
Mm,
one is restoring our imagination. So, right now, I am exploring, like, instead of saying, oh, I do this kind of music, this is the kind of art that I do, and this is how I do it, it's more like I have this intention and I want to experiment on a journey to get to that. I'm looking also to
beautiful.
make friends. So
Yeah.
part of my hope with this interview is also putting that out there that I'm looking to make friends to make music with, and maybe we'll dive into that later, but that's the main focus, like
I
making
love that.
songs, exploring technology in a way that helps achieve those main three
Those
things.
three main things. That's beautiful. And I love that you have such a framework and a focus around kind of why you're doing this. I think that that's just really
Mm,
wonderful.
thank you.
Um, So, hello everyone. I see folks from Montreal. Hello, folks from
Mhm.
Victoria. We got British Columbia in the house. That's good. Welcome, my fellow Canadians. Germany. Wow, everyone's saying where they're from. This is great.
Nice.
Welcome to all of you. For those of you who don't know me really quickly, I always ask the guests to introduce themselves. I just realized I never introduced myself. I'm Sarah. I'm a musician. I make music with trumpets, modular synthesizers, laptop computers, and I'm also an educator and I teach synthesis and sound design and music making. And this is what this series is all about. I like to bring people who are in my classes. Natalia is part of my class, Learning Sound and Synthesis, bring them on to talk about their journey learning these topics, working with me in my classes. And the most important thing, and the reason why I really love to do this, is so we can kind of pull back the
Mhm.
veil a little bit and provide a little bit of insight to all of you who are watching to see what's possible for yourself creatively and also to see what goes into kind of learning these topics. Because a lot of the time it can be mysterious. We can be like, well, I want to make songs.
Mhm.
I want to use synthesizers. I want to play music, but like, how in the world do I do that?
2000%.
Right?
2000%.
2000%. So that's part of the kind of spirit behind this interview series. I guess with that in mind, Natalia, could you give us a bit of context maybe about why you wanted to learn synthesis and sound design? Like, where were you at in your practice? Why did that come up as something you wanted to dive deeper into?
Like, that is a beautiful question. And I also just want to say, I don't know if I should be saying this, but you also have a beautiful new album out. And I've been
Oh my
listening
God.
to the first two songs. And like part of the reason that I bring this up is because when I was growing up, what I used to see was usually like the final stage, like amazingly talented musicians releasing beautiful music, and I rarely got to see the very beginnings where people are just starting out, developing their skills. And what that
Yeah.
led for me was a belief that I had to be great from the very beginning. And that great looked a very specific way. And the reason why I want to invite people to listen to your new album is because not just through the teachings that you've shared with the people, but also with your own artistic practice and the work you put out there, you're helping show that great can look many different ways, and it helps expand that for a lot of people. But to bring it back to your question, I always had this desire to make music, but I had this belief like when I tried it, I wasn't great from the beginning.
Hmm.
So I thought, oh, I just don't have what it takes. And that was like insidious and always stayed in the background for a long time. And living my life, I would like come across synth stores.
Hmm.
I was living in Brooklyn. There's one called Control Mod,
Yep.
and they
Yeah.
were always like draw me in so much, and I don't know why, but there was something like some beauty about the objects, the tactile aspect of it. I was like drawn to it, but it felt inaccessible.
Yeah.
It felt completely like mystical, out of reach, a world that like how do you even start? And I hope we can get into like demystifying that, because that's
Yes.
what your courses did for me. A visceral feeling, like especially it started with the mini course that you have,
Hmm.
the one that's free. That gave me like a visceral feeling that you have what it takes.
100%.
and
Yeah.
and not just intellectually, but like, because that's the gap sometimes, like things can be very intellectual, but feeling it, that by doing it that you have what it takes, because you have like a way to feel for yourself step by step that you can do it.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. So this feeling that you're describing of early on, being kind of drawn in and being
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, what is this? But also being like, I don't think I can do this, or I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, where to begin. It's such a common feeling. Like, let me
Mm-hmm.
know if anyone who's watching live here can relate to this. I know I can relate personally.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, first of all, if you feel that way, just know that that's normal. I think I saw
Mm-hmm.
someone in the chat say you have to walk before you can run. That's such a great,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, metaphor. We all do have to start at the beginning. And I love what you said, Natalia, about, you know, you don't have to be great right away at the beginning. In fact,
Yeah.
you're not going to be great right away.
Yeah.
You're not
That's good.
gonna. You're not gonna be great. Let's face it. The sooner you can accept the fact that you're gonna
Yeah.
probably be kind of bad at something
Yeah.
at first, the faster you'll actually get good at it, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So okay, so you were kind of feeling this way. You decided to just jump in and study and really take this seriously, join my class. Can you help us understand what were some of the things that did help demystify that for
Mm-hmm.
you?
Absolutely.
It could be specific things you did or just anything that comes to mind that helped make that
Yes.
process easier for you.
I wrote some of them down because they feel
Okay,
so
great.
powerful. I also have them on my wall. One
Okay.
thing you said is confidence comes from taking action
Right.
when you are not confident.
Right.
Because I'm going to repeat that, because it comes from taking action specifically when you are not confident. I had it all twisted in my brain before, where I thought there was going to be this point where I would feel confident and then I would be able to do all the things. But because I never felt confident, I wouldn't do anything. And then that kept me stuck. But
Yeah.
this idea of like, you just, especially when you're not feeling confident, take the action. And
Yes.
then maybe it won't be like perfect, like you'll feel this like super person that doesn't
Right.
feel any doubt or anything, but
No.
there'll be progress.
Right. That's right. Yeah, I love that. I love that so much. I for many years when I was first curious about learning synthesizers, I didn't take action because I was
Mm-hmm.
paralyzed by that feeling of, but what if I can't do it? What
Mm-hmm.
if I'm not smart enough? What if my questions are stupid? And so
Yes.
I didn't take action. And you know what happened?
Nothing.
Nothing,
Yeah.
absolutely nothing. And when I
Yeah.
finally realized this, confidence comes from taking action when you're not feeling confident, taking a step anyway.
Yeah.
I absolutely started to, I started to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't perfect at it right away. Of course
Mm-hmm.
not, as we've discussed.
Yeah.
But step by step by step by step, you move, right? I
Mm-hmm.
love that. Okay, what else? Is there another something else that was helpful for you?
Yes.
Although we could easily talk about this the whole
I
time, but
know. Yes. Another thing is in that you've shared that has helped, like it's like an aha moment that shift things, is engaging as a work in progress,
mm,
instead of feeling like I have to do all of this work, like hiding, like I have to go through the stage of not being great and
yeah,
sucking at things in the, like, in the obscurity, like no
alone,
one see, alone. And
right,
then one day I'll be able to be good enough that I can, engage with the world. Like
right,
shifting completely away from that and just engaging as a work in progress. But something that I want to say is that it takes courage, which means it takes, for me, doing it scared, as you
yes,
shared with us too, doing
yeah,
it anyway. Like it's easy to say it.
yeah, oh yeah, it's way easier to say than do.
So when people, I just want to say that it doesn't, like, it'll feel scary, maybe. I mean, if it's similar to what I've been experiencing, it'll feel scary. But then the beauty of it is that it can show other people that, like, this stage exists. Like, for
Yeah,
instance, I didn't come from a family where I saw, like, my older brother or sister go through that process, or I didn't have access to seeing that stage. And I think when we put ourselves out there in the internet as a work in progress, then it can be so powerful for other people who also don't have access to it. and
yes,
and then it shifts the focus away from this, like, anxiety driven things of, like, people will laugh at me, this is just cringy. That's what my
yeah,
mind tells me, like, this is so
right,
cringy. Or it'll, like the perfectionist mindset, it shifts the
absolutely.
focus away from that and into more like helping each other.
I love that. And we were just talking about
Yeah.
before this interview, right? So people don't know this, but right before we went live, we were talking about how sometimes you feel nervous before you do a live stream.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But really, the intention behind these interviews is to first celebrate the work and progress of you, Natalia, of the people in the learning sound and synthesis community. But then, second, to help support other
Yeah.
people who are watching, who are a little bit earlier on in their journey and are maybe like, can I do this? Am I a
Yeah.
real enough musician?
Oof.
I know. And I say that because I hear it all the time. And yes, you are. Of course you are. Or am I too old or too behind or
Yeah.
too late or any of these things?
Oof.
You know, showing hopefully the intention is by being here and sharing these stories, we can help to support other people who are, right there and like want to dive in.
Yes. Can I
So I
say
love that.
something?
Of
Like,
course you can.
looking back, I remember, like, another way this has showed up for me is I had this belief that to be a real musician, you have had to, like, be born and started playing an instrument, like as a
Mm-hmm.
as a newborn. And if you didn't, then it was over for you. Like, I remember being maybe a teenager and thinking, oh, it's over for me because I didn't do this since I was minus zero
Right.
years old.
In the womb. Right.
And it's like a belief that, to help demystify it, when I moved to to Brooklyn. Like I grew up in Colombia, I moved to Brooklyn, and then I started discovering small venues, started seeing like any day I could go on a website called Oh My Rockness, and it's that website changed everything for me because I could just go explore a new small venue and go see some live music. And what I saw there was people from all sorts of experiences and backgrounds, to people who were doing it like for the very first time, like being on stage, to like super
Yeah.
professional people who had done it longer. But it put it all on the same level, and it showed me people that looked like me
Right.
doing that, and it made me feel like, oh, I can do it, I can do it too.
That's
That
right.
was one of the first ones. Like, so being able to see other people
Yep.
is huge. And then later, yeah, I definitely think your teachings, your courses, the offerings that you do also for free, the community that you've built, really really was a game changer for me, because I come from very like male oriented environments. Like I did a software engineering boot camp, and that whole technology like industry can be very like it can make people feel isolated if you don't look
Right.
like the typical image
Mhm.
of people who do technology, people who do whatever. So seeing
Yeah.
someone like you, that I saw myself reflected in, uh, offer like a path where it's such a beautiful path, the one that you offer, because it's not just like here is the technical aspect. Like yes, you offer the technical aspect in a way that is welcoming for beginners and also for people who have done it for many years, because you dive deep into the fundamentals, which is a like infinite world,
Right.
beautiful world
Yeah.
of the fundamentals. But you also go into the history, and you also go into the creative practice, and then you mix it even further with combining electronic and acoustic. It's just gorgeous, and I honestly want to say how grateful I feel, how much it's helped me.
Thank you. I'm so you truly so happy to hear that. And that is absolutely my intention. So thank you. I'm very, very
Mm.
happy to hear that. Um, there are some people in the chat who are asking a little bit about how they can connect with you.
Oh
So
my gosh,
isn't that
how
great? You're
exciting!
manifesting this. You wanted to connect with collaborators. So here we are. So there's a couple things I want to do. One is
Yes,
I want to share some of your work with people so they can see and hear a little bit. I want to make sure that people know how to follow you and find you. Um, and
thank
let's do that. And then I also want to make sure too, because I'm seeing a couple questions about the class. I want to make sure that I give everyone a quick next step for how you can, get more information and continue and learn more from me about modular synthesis. So that's just sort of saying the plan here out
you.
loud. Okay,
Perfect. The
here we
time is
go. So
limited, so here we
yeah,
go.
that's the agenda. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to share a little piece of your music. Do you want to say anything about this before we
Yeah, I mean
listen?
a
Okay,
short thing. Yeah.
short thing, sure.
Um, I hope to keep it short, but honestly, my culture in Colombia, it's like we like context and we like
Yeah, go
explain.
for it. No, don't feel constricted. Just say what you want
Okay,
to say.
okay. So what I want to say is, on one side, I recently took a songwriting course provided by School of Song.
Hmm.
It was with Brian Eno, and it's also a beautiful experience. And he talks about the importance of having an archive.
Yeah.
I also have a bit of an archiving background, and I'm fascinated by archives. And so I haven't been that great at keeping like an archive for my own things, but that's what he recommended, like honoring your own work and your own experiments by making them part of an archive and letting your work live there and grow and mature there. And when I started doing that, I found this video that I had done like over 10 years ago, when I was exploring the world of found footage and creating like experimental videos, not by recording, but by like seeing digital video as a physical material that you can like chop
Yeah.
and collage and bring back together. So exploring my archive, I found this video and I was like, why didn't I do anything with this? I had another version that looked different, and that's the one that I like used in my thesis, but this one just was like hidden in there. And I was taking your course, and it was the perfect opportunity to like move forward with music because it provided one important thing that I want to share with people, which is limits.
Yes. So
And
good. Yeah.
so good, and something that another uh, sound and synthesis alum called Anya. Um,
Who is here watching in the
yeah.
chat?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. Like she,
Limits. Yeah.
yeah, shared the importance of limits, and it really inspired me. So this video provided a limit, many limits. One of them was a duration. So I
Hmm.
had a duration. The other one was I had some images to respond to. So those two things really helped me like move forward, and I thought, okay, what I'm gonna do is respond to these images in an improvisation like style
Yeah.
kind of way. And all I had access to at the time because I was traveling was my computer. So that was another limit that I was like, okay, this is gonna be another limit, just use my computer. And that's what I
Beautiful.
that's what I did. So I think that's what I wanted to share. That
Okay.
that was the impetus behind that one. And then I'm also in this journey of making like exploring sound and making songs that can stand on their own and that don't necessarily need a video. But as a first step, the video helped me like get started.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up on the screen. And as I'm doing that, I just want to reinforce this power of limitations.
Yeah.
If anyone out there struggles to get started with music, or struggles to
Mm-hmm.
finish music, or struggles to know what to patch on your synth, or
Mm-hmm.
literally anything about making music, try giving yourself limitations. And it's okay if they feel kind of arbitrary, like
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes because I don't know, 5 minutes. It doesn't really
Yeah.
need to be like a grand creative vision. Sometimes limitations can be very random and very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
5 minute piece, 3 modules, go, right? It could be
Mm-hmm.
just that simple. Um, but within limitations, we create space for depth,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you work with fewer ideas, fewer tools, and what that does is it frees you up to go deeper with what you're doing. And I just think that's so
Mm-hmm.
powerful. All right, I've got your piece pulled up here. We're going to take a little listen, watch. If I can figure out how to. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is the hardest part where I have to
Fade
pause it.
out.
I know, I'm
I
sorry.
like the fade out.
You like the fade out? Thank you. Yes. Okay, let me just come back over
DJ.
to
Just kidding.
Yeah, that was my DJ move. I'm going to
DJ.
go ahead. I'm sorry to drop it off for people because I know everyone was enjoying that, but I'm going to go ahead and put the link to your website in the chat. Okay.
Thank you.
And that way people can go there and follow up with you and continue to watch and all of the things. Um, vastquiet.space, right? Is that going to work as the
Fast,
link?
quiet, that space. Yes.
Okay, perfect, because that's what I put. All right, so that's there for you. And on social media, how can people find and follow you? Is it the
Yeah.
same name?
I think the actually for this experiment of trying to find friends, I created on that website. There's a thumbnail that says looking to make friends to make music with. And
Perfect.
if you click there, you'll see like a playlist of the music that I'm interested in exploring. So if you go there and you resonate with the intention behind the laboratory and also with the music, I have my email there. It's
Okay,
Natalia
amazing.
at nadavisible.com. But
Beautiful.
in the website, everything should be in there.
Okay. It's all there for you folks. You can go to the website. Okay, amazing. I love that this was a part of your intention for this. It's so wonderful. I also want to put another little link up here on the screen, soundandsynthesis.com/waitlist. This is for those of you who have been asking in the comments about learning modular synthesis and music making with me. If this conversation in general has resonated with you, then I'd love to invite you to join the waitlist for the upcoming round of this class. It actually opens up in like 2 weeks. So super, super
Exciting.
soon. So exciting. We're going to be welcoming in the new cohort of students. Alumni, if you're watching this, you know you're always welcome back. That's something that's really special about this class is once you're
Wow.
enrolled, you're in the community, you're always welcome back. Um, this is, as we've been talking about, my class that walks you through the history of synthesis and electronic music, the most important essential techniques and concepts in terms of working with
Mm-hmm.
synthesizers of any kind, designing your own
Mm-hmm.
sounds from scratch, performing, composing music with synthesizers. And ultimately, as Natalia said, I always do weave in, it's not just technical how to, there's a lot of technical how to,
Mm-hmm.
but it's
Mm-hmm.
also about how to connect with your creative voice and
Yeah.
build a creative practice that feels supportive and productive, and how to really do more of whatever kind of music or art it is that you want to make. That is
Yeah.
my intention with everyone in the class. So if that resonates with all of you and you want to check it out, go to this link, soundandsynthesis.com/waitlist. You can drop your email in there. You'll be notified when it opens. And my DMs are also always open, so send me a message if you want to talk more.
I also want to say, like, I feel like I've taken many online courses, and some other courses feel more like, okay, here's the value, more like a static thing. Like, here's the value, you take it, and that's it. Whereas this one feels like the value grows infinitely, constantly, because you are part of a community and then you also update the course. So to me, it's like one of the most invaluable things I've invested in that is always growing. And I want to say also that the impact has been huge because, like, before this, I didn't have much experience in synthesis and how this works, but because you teach the fundamentals, then I just really want to emphasize how much that has unlocked a ton of things for me. Like, for example, before your course, I didn't really know how to use Ableton, and I started exploring how to use it. And the course has helped me not only like grow in that part, but because the principles are in a way universal, then I've come across like plugins that I want to explore. For example, another thing that I want to share is a company here in Seattle called Madrona Labs.
Yes. Oh, I
They
love them.
do
They're wonderful.
beautiful, beautiful plugins. And what I want to say is like, even though they have a great manual, PDF manual, I wouldn't have been able to explore them and get to know them if it weren't for your course and the way that you teach the fundamentals. Because the course focuses a little bit on VCV rack. However, it's not that you'll end the course and all you can do is VCV rack. No, it's like it'll enable you to come across any like hardware or a virtual instrument and be able to explore it and
That's
then
right.
dive deeper with the manuals and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly right. And I couldn't have said it better myself. So thank you. That's the intention. I'm always talking about the fundamentals and the universal foundations.
Yeah.
That's the exact language that I use because that's really what they are, right? So, when I'm the way that I'm focused on teaching, it's not just so that you come out with one piece of gear that you
Exactly.
can use. It's about building an entire vocabulary and
Mm-hmm.
framework that you can apply to any instrument or plugin that you want to use in the future. So I'm glad to hear that that was your experience. Mission
Mm-hmm.
accomplished.
Yes.
And again, for anyone watching, I think the big takeaways from this call are, you know, don't wait till you feel confident. Take
Mm-hmm.
action. Go for it.
It'll be uncomfortable.
It will be.
Maybe. If you're
Maybe.
like me. If you're like me.
And me, if you're like either of us. but it's
But
worth it.
super worth it. Super worth
Exactly.
it. Not only it's worth it, it's like the way. Meaning there are multiple ways, but meaning if you don't, then you'll be stuck.
That's right.
Nothing will
Unfortunately,
happen.
that's true. The only way to guarantee that you will not succeed
Yeah,
is
exactly.
is to do nothing, right? And it does keep you safe
It
in the
keeps you safe.
meantime.
It's more comfortable.
It's more
Yeah.
comfortable. I love this little banter we've got going on here. But unfortunately, it will not move you closer to your goals.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you know, it's safe. It's safe
Mhm.
to put yourself out there and be creative. It really is. I just wish that I could
Yeah.
shout that from every mountaintop everywhere, and I'm trying. So thank you for
I
helping me
love
with
that. Like, and people may, because I feel like I have a lot of those judgy voices that are like, are you a real musician? Do you have this virtuosity, like super virtuous ability? And I think that judgy voice is out there. And I even have it myself of like the judgy voice that's like, is that person like a real musician? No, 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 whatever. Like the voice will be out there. And it is safe. It is
it is
also
safe.
safe. It is
Yeah.
also safe. It's just thoughts.
Exactly. Love it so much. It feels like a good place for us to maybe wrap up.
Yeah.
I see someone in the chat saying that they're hungry to go patch something now. So
Oh,
go
nice.
make music. That's great. If anyone has questions about the class, Learning Sound and Synthesis, or anything else from this interview, leave a comment, send me a DM. Go to Natalia's website if you're inspired to connect with her. She's looking for collaborators. So I
Yes.
think you're probably going to get a
Oh,
few emails soon. And thank you so much for being part of this community and,
yeah.
you know, taking action before you feel confident.
Oh,
It makes an
thank you.
impact on so many people. So thank you
Mm,
for doing that.
thank you.
All right. Thanks for everyone who tuned in live. We'll see you at the next Spotlight interview. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.